Today our speaker is Dmytro business analyst at Paytomat projects. And the topic is future payments in crypto 2020. Hello Dmytro, how are you today?
Yeah, hi, thanks. Thanks for inviting me, and I hope this will be a really cool episode of cryptocurrency. And one of the reasons why I decided to call it cryptocurrency in 2020 is because right now cryptocurrency is kind of like in this stage where it has to be developed. You know, a lot of projects are just creating something, but they just getting stuck with this ICO, the price of Bitcoin and stuff like this, right? But right now they have to just focus on building the project that they really want to be successful in the next few years. And 2020 for me is the year where I believe 2020 or 2021 where cryptocurrency payments will be kind of like not maybe massively accepted in stores and in e-commerce, but they will be very close to that thing, right? So in the next 2 years I believe there will be a very big currency crisis in different governments, and right now we can see that in Iran, in Turkey, previously in Venezuela, and all over the Africa. And right now people are really succeeding, the teams that are working in those countries, they're really succeeding in this chase of getting merchants starting accepting crypto. And right now in Venezuela there are over 4,000 merchants who currently accept Dash and Bitcoin. And this is a very big number because in total there are about 15,000 merchants in the globe who currently accept any cryptocurrency. And so this is a very important step in getting cryptocurrency mass adoption. And I believe this pattern will continue to show up in different countries, and maybe in the next few years we will see the same thing in Europe and other places and Asia and Africa, that the more distrust from the customers, from the people will be towards the government, the better cryptocurrency will perform in this specific area, country, region. And that's basically one of my main points why I decided to choose this year. Yeah, so I hope this little preview was good enough, and we'll wrap it up with some questions.
Okay, what's about Crypto Hryvnia?
Crypto Hryvnia is a really cool project, and I believe it can be successful if it is implemented in the right way. So right now in Paytomat we have our wallet, and in the future, if everything will be okay, we will be able to use Crypto Hryvnia as one of the tokens or coins or whatever it is to convert it from cryptocurrency into Crypto Hryvnia and vice versa. And so this can be kind of like a stable coin for our government, but if the hryvnia itself will be obsolete, then in this case Crypto Hryvnia, I'm not sure if it should be.
But we have two projects, Crypto Hryvnia.
Yes.
What's most interesting for you?
Probably the one that Mikhail Chabanen is currently making, and we actually accepted Crypto Hryvnia when we started that last year. And we already showed it to the mass audience at their Kuna stakeholder conference. And we showed the preview how it works, and it worked pretty fast, and it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Say the new merchants, they are willing to accept crypto, but they are very new to the crypto area. How to start for them? For example, they are selling some digital products on their website. How to start? They can download your app. You have app for.
It depends on what type of business they have. If it is e-commerce, they can download one of our plugins we right now have for WordPress, and also we have a web panel where they can sign up and create invoices on the fly for any customer. However, we also have APIs that they can use for the custom development for their website, so that it is natively embedded in their website. And in this case, they can accept crypto pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. You are now EOS-based projects. Why did you decide to choose EOS, and how it's going? What do you think the future of EOS in general?
Yeah, there are multiple reasons why we switched to EOS. The primary reasons probably is because it's fast, it's instant, and it doesn't have any gas or something like this like in Ethereum. And there are lots of interesting permission settings and management that is very important when we're going to switch that to our merchants. And so it's really interesting how EOS have been so far. Right now it's kind of like still in the early stage. Right now there are only a few projects that are developed on EOS, and we've been recently in a Korea conference where most of the major block producers have been together. It was kind of weird because we were one of the 3 projects that were showing up in those stages. Basically, right now it's kind of like the Ethereum early stages of development. But there are already a lot of projects that are built up on EOS, and people will go and switch toward that blockchain because it's not only fast and efficient, but also there will be a lot of identity systems that right now are happening and developing in EOS. One of the projects that's really cool is Scatter. Although they are right now a desktop application, there will be, I believe, a very big advancement in the next whatever years. And this pattern of digital identity will be very tied up with EOS usernames, and I hope that EOS will be smart enough to make this thing together with Digital Identity Foundation by Microsoft, because it's basically a group of companies that are creating a complete ecosystem where people who have no identity, like in Africa or South America or South Asia, they can create one, they can confirm it with biometrics or whatever, they can tie that up with property rights, with certificates, with whatever. And this whole thing will be, this digital identity can be one of the main things that will allow people to transact cross borders for everything, right? So basically you can buy real estate from person A and sell it to person B. It will be recorded on the blockchain, and everybody will be see where who is the owner currently of this particular property. And in this case, EOS or some other blockchains that are already working on this stuff will be really helpful to accomplish this. Yeah.
Were you thinking about becoming EOS Block Producer? Because you have a big community, it seems it would be not so hard to get votes. Were you considering this option?
I'm not sure I'm the one who can answer this question, but I don't know, because block producer, to be a block producer, you have to be quite involved in Chinese community, because most of the block producers, they are Chinese based, and there are a lot of debates about this because it's kind of like centralized, but there are a lot of interesting things happening there, and I'm not sure if right now is the time to become block producers, because there are a lot of people who are turning off their mining facility basically, and that is not a good sign. Yeah.
Okay, what about stable coins? So how do you think it's making future?
Stable coins are really interesting. It's a really interesting concept. So I believe they have a really particular use case. So if a person believes in crypto but not 100%, but like 20%, they can just switch from their dollar, euro, yen, whatever, into stable coins. And they can switch between stable coin and Bitcoin or cryptocurrency of their choice. And they can do that instantly. And if this will be implemented in different wallets, and if those stable coins will be fast enough so that you can pay with them, it will be really cool use case.
Cool use case,
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think decentralized, it's not about stable coins.
I know, but if we can get enough people switch from paper money, from dollars, euros, whatever, to stable coins, then it will be very easy for them to switch from stable coins to Bitcoin, because it's right now most of the stable coins are traded on most of the exchanges, and so it will be really fast. And this is the main point, because the big issue is to switch from fiat to crypto, and if you can do that even into stablecoin, this is really important. Yeah.
Okay. What's about regulation all over the world?
Okay. Regulation is very major issue, and it has to be solved, and can be solved only by governments, but also a lot of projects that are blockchain based and fintech based, they can impact the government decisions as well. So if there will be a very big community of people or projects, they can come up with something really big together with the governments, and so they can impact the decisions that the government make, and the regulation will be a lot easier to solve. But you need to see at what's happening in the world, because Japan is one of the major indicators on regulations, and so we have to see on what's happening in Japan. Japan is like the #1 country in terms of economic growth and all that stuff. And if they are making this decision to make Bitcoin fully legal, that is a very good sign. In a lot of other countries, like Switzerland, you can pay utility bills and taxes in Bitcoin. It's really cool. A lot of countries like Korea will be fully accepting crypto pretty soon. I actually thought that would happen a year ago, but not yet. But still, Korea is one of the top places where there is a majority of cryptocurrency holders. They own a lot of crypto, but they have no way to spend it, right? And that's interesting.
And what about legal? Legal for business?
For business?
Yes. It's like my cafe, yes, and I have one more option for my customer, pay for this coffee, Dash, Bitcoin, or any cryptocurrency. How it's like
how do we do this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So depends on the country. So in Ukraine we have a full framework for how we can do that in our country, because we are from Ukraine. For other countries, it depends on what right now is allowed in that country, and we have to work with the lawyers of that country and to figure out what can we do, what framework can we use to be able to do this kind of business activities, right? So in most of the European countries, there can be implemented similar framework like in Ukraine, and this is really cool, a positive sign. In US, for instance, there will, in any country in general, there will be a gateway, which basically a company, a financial institution, or mostly exchange, who has the license to swap basically crypto into fiat, right? So if they have this capacity, if they have this license, they can be our gateway. And in I'm not sure, I don't remember the particular roadmap when we have this feature, but when it's going to be implemented, gateways will also get a portion from each transactions that are happening in a network. and there will be even a competition for gateways in different countries. So one country may have different gateways, and this is really common in India. Basically, when you're withdrawing money or doing something like this in India, you can choose between 15 different gateways, and the same stuff can be here, and people will compete in which so the lower the fee that gateway will take from the merchant, the better chances that it will be picked up, and this is how it's going to work. Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of Paytomat adoption, which countries are like moving more faster forward? Because in Ukraine we know there are many places which accept maybe around 50 restaurants, maybe more, which already accept cryptocurrencies. But what about other countries? I know there are some places in the European Union, some even in United States of America. And what are your primary markets?
So it's kind of the most difficult question even for us, because we're trying to choose markets based on the market conditions right now. So in US, we recently signed a deal with Restaurant Association and Nightlife Association, which basically covers every single bar, nightclub, and all of the restaurants in US in general. So they have hundreds of thousands of merchants across US, and we already have a few merchants in Los Angeles and New York that already accept crypto, and this market can be really big, because the most interesting thing was about US is that there are a lot of customers, cryptocurrency holders, who have crypto, and in case with US, if they want to convert this crypto into dollars, they can do that on Coinbase. They have to pay about 20% tax, and if they don't pay this tax, they can just spend their crypto wherever it is accepted. And it was really interesting to see when we launched this place in Los Angeles. There were a lot of people who were paying with crypto. It's really, really cool. Yeah, but this is one of the markets, one specific market. The second type of markets is where cryptocurrency most consumption is. So basically there is a very big number of cryptocurrency holders as well. So it's Korea, it's China, but in China it's not forbidden already, but still it's not the best market because there is WeChat and stuff like this, so it's not appropriate to go there. But there are a lot of interesting countries like Venezuela and Africa. There are a lot of cryptocurrency holders there, and it's basically the third type of markets is when the economy is not stable. And as I already said, the more unstable the currency of a particular country is, the more cryptocurrency usage we'll see there. So basically it will start from those countries, and then it will expand to more stable economies. Yeah.
And actually from your words, it's an interesting tip. So for example, some people who are watching us, if they have some digital stores and focusing on US market, that's a real competitive advantage to start accepting crypto, because there would be like people who hold crypto, they will be like spending it. If they have like option to spend fiat or crypto, it's a real competitive advantage. So I think it's really good option for new people to come to crypto, start accepting it. And regarding Venezuela, do you plan to visit it? What are the plans of Paytomat regarding Latin America?
So we already have a merchant who accepts crypto in Venezuela, so it's really cool. We have a very active community right now starting in Venezuela. They're really amazing. Yeah, and so I'm not sure about visiting Venezuela, maybe sometimes in the next few years, but what we've done that will allow us to target different markets without going to those markets is we have this regional leaders program, which basically anybody who wants to accept crypto, not accepting crypto, but who wants to basically do what we're doing here, but in their country, to sign merchants to accept crypto, to develop the community, they can do that, and we will pay them for doing this. And
basically,
this is really cool.
You have open positions of community managers all across the world.
Not particularly community managers,
but
we
might call it like
kind of like you know. So there is Paytomat Global, and there will be like Paytomat Venezuela, Paytomat Spain, Paytomat US, or specific US state or whatever, right? And this is how we view this stuff. Yeah.
And okay, what about your application Paytomat? I need to know some technical details, or how I can start to use. I need to make step with my ID. I need to make this one KS IML, or I can only download and start.
If you're a merchant?
No, if I'm a user.
If you're a customer, right?
Yes, sure.
If you're a customer, so we have two types of application. The one is for customer, it's Paytomat wallet. The other is for merchant.
Okay.
But for merchant, we have several use cases, like interfaces, in which you can choose whatever you prefer, right? We have web panel where most of this stuff can happen. We have merchant app for Android, iOS. We have some static QR code, which is MQR, which is really cool. I'll talk about later, and other applications. But for customer, have a wallet. You can download a wallet, back up your seed phrase. Make sure you do that, and then you can just use your crypto. That's it. Yeah.
Like usability is
yes.
easy.
It is pretty easy. So we have an optional. You can in the future there will be a lot of different loyalty programs inside of our wallet, and our strategy is what we're seeing right now with other EOS-based wallets, and is what's actually happening in blockchain space, is that we have to switch from just wallets into the marketplace. And so basically the main kind of goal is to make user only use our wallet and stay in this wallet forever, right? So basically there will be not only payments, like you can send crypto to any person, but you can play games there. You can trade inside of this wallet and do stuff like, it's basically like a WeChat in the crypto. And that's what we're seeing in EOS different wallets, and that's what we are moving towards as well. And recently we've added a lot of different features like Ethereum tokens, EOS tokens. We're basically the only wallet who supports both. I'm not sure. There are separate wallets that support EOS tokens and separate that support EOS and EOS-based tokens. But we are the only one who support both. And also we have different features that you can. Recently we implemented a simple wallet protocol, which is kind of like a way for any user to sign in inside decentralized exchange, which is based on EOS, because most of them are Chinese and most of them are decentralized, and this is really interesting way how those exchanges are working. So you don't need to have an account. You need to have an EOS account, but you don't have to have an exchange account. You can just log in inside of this account, and there will be the same balance that is showing on your wallet inside of this exchange account, and you can just trade from your wallet. Basically, you have to, every single time when you put an order, you need to verify it by scanning a QR code, and basically you sign the transactions in this case. So basically it's really cool because there will be tons of different decentralized exchanges, and you may have only one EOS wallet, and you can log in inside all of those exchanges and trade between those exchanges, and it's really cool without any KYC, any stuff like this.
Okay.
One wallet, and you can do magic basically. Yeah.
Amazing. And one more question. If I right understand, like about security,
Yeah.
your wallet.
Yeah.
If I right understand, all private key with me.
Yes.
In the this
on device.
Yes.
Device. Yes. We don't store any private keys. It's non-custodial wallet, so it's all in you. So if you lose your seed phrase, basically we have no access to it. So only you can restore it. Yeah.
Okay.
Also interesting about EOS, because we as media decided to focus on EOS, EOS-based projects. We had a question and some feedback that new people to crypto, they have some problems with creating EOS accounts, with not yet user-friendly applications. And as I understand, in Paytomat you can just choose a name, 12 symbols, pay with any crypto which you have in the option, be it Dash, Ethereum, Zen, or you support maybe around 10 cryptos right now, and you add in more cryptos. And they have already this wallet, so after doing this, so they can start interacting with EOS Gold and even receive airdrops tokens. So it seems it's more user-friendly. Do you see it as competitive advantage?
Of course, because it was really so EOS is very heavily focused on China, right? And most of the projects are coming from China. And if you go to most of the EOS-based wallets, which have only EOS and no Bitcoin and stuff like this, and you want to create account there, you click on create account, there will be some page opening up on Chinese, and you have to figure out what you like. What are my steps to create an account? Like, it's impossible to do this stuff, and there is no translate into English button and stuff like this. So, and when I was creating my first EOS account, I was doing it from through Scatter. It was back then it was supported by plugin in Chrome, and it was kind of not that hard process, but for an average user, it's very complex. And so by having this one little small feature, but it can be really big actually. It's probably one of, well, maybe not the main advantage, but one of the good ones. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think about ICO? Is it to make sense in near future?
That's a good question. So I'm not sure. I don't know actually. So what happened with ICO so far, there were a lot of people who were raising like a ton of money, like millions of dollars, who have no white paper, no website, and basically nothing, no project, nothing at all, zero. And so they raised millions of dollars, and they were no legislation, basically they have no company, stuff like this. So they hold crypto fall like whatever. Like, it's a lot of money that they have lost in terms of dollar equivalent, and they still have no working project.
Yes.
And like, there are a lot of researches and studies that are showing that most of the ICOs, like 90% or so, are scams, right? Because they have no projects whatsoever. And so if we compare ICO to something, we can compare this to .com bubble, because there were like lots of projects that were raising a ton of money, and they basically are gone. The same stuff will happen with the coin market cap page. It will go from 2,000 coins or tokens into 50 or something like this in the next few years, right? So ICO will go from I have no idea actually, so it's my personal opinion, right? So I believe this utility token concept is already gone. Mm-hmm. So there is no use case for utility-based token. I have no idea what is the use case for utility-based token actually. So there will be a very interesting security-based tokens. This will be really interesting. But ICO will not die in sense like it's gone. This way of raising money is finished. It's not like that, but still it's utility-based ICOs are finished. So that's how we do this stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, it's interesting to us because you had ICO, the token sale, and you raised very fastly the soft cap. And the last stage of like a public token sale, you decided to cancel it and choose another model. So basically right now everybody who is interested in Paytomat PTI tokens can buy them on EOS-based exchanges. And why did you decide to change this model? Were you maybe afraid that you would not collect hard cap? Or maybe you decided just to focus more on EOS community to sell tokens quickly? Why did you choose to change the model?
So there are like tens of answers for these questions, basically. But the main ones are that people have to really look at the Bitcoin price, right? So it's felt like really, it's crashing, still crashing, and it will be in this stage for maybe a few months, maybe a year, maybe like a couple of months. We have no idea, right? So most of the cryptocurrency funds, they have a loss of 90%. So they already lost money and they're not willing to invest in in anything, right? So this model of raising money from like an ICO is, as already told you, is kind of like finished, right? So it's not possible to raise money when the market is not hyped or whatever, and stuff like this. So if there is nobody who is willing to invest money, and if Bitcoin is not going to rise in the next few months, so it's kind of like logical that we need to adjust toward the market. So we basically, most of the time, we're adjusting towards what is happening right now, not what has happened or what is going to happen, what is right now, right? So what we've seen is that there is a really active community in China, in Korea, and in other places. And those people who already invested money, they will be able to withdraw tokens in somewhere in December, January, and they will be able to trade them on those different exchanges. But right now, people can go and buy those tokens from exchanges, and this model makes a lot more sense because basically right now people don't need to raise money in order to launch a token. You can basically create a smart contract, create your own token, but you need to back it up with some really cool project. If there is no project, it doesn't make sense to have a token. And so when you launch, so there are a lot of EOS-based projects, and all of them have some token, but there is no value in this token whatsoever. But we have a very strategic use cases of this token, how it's going to be used, and this model, yeah.
Okay, and do you have like any website or Facebook page, Telegram channel? If I have some more question, I need to know more about Paytomat.
Yeah, of course we have a website, you know. So we have website basically all over social media, right? Facebook, Twitter, even Instagram, like Bitcoin Talk, Medium. We have a main Telegram group, which is Paytomat. There is Paytomat announcement group, but it's kind of like mostly news and stuff like this. And there are also dedicated groups in different regions. We have Russian community, we have Spanish community, and maybe I'm wrong, but there is some other languages that we're supporting. So yeah, we have white paper, pitch deck, and stuff like this on our website. You can check it out. Yeah.
If I have a question, I
of
can
course,
find
yes,
you.
yes. If you have, you can ask. Basically, the simplest way to get your question answered like immediately, just join a Telegram group. It will be answered in a couple of minutes, maybe faster. Yeah.
We will place all the links under this video, links to the website, Telegram. You can also join our CryptoTexts social media channels because we plan to continue this format of CryptoBreakfast. And thank you, Dmytro, a lot for the interesting conversation. We invite other people from the EOS community all around the world, maybe from China. You mentioned they have big community. Kyiv is a great city, so we invite you for our next crypto breakfast. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.